Well, hello, Emmanuel Faith. Thanks again for being with us this past weekend as we looked at this area, this idea of sexual expression and self-control. So during the week, Greg asked me if there was anything that had surprised me in my study. And I replied to him that one of the things that was caught me a little bit off guard, I don't know why that would be, was simply the Shulamites' sexual desire for Solomon. There were a couple of others too. I don't know if I brought them up to Greg at that time, but there were two other things that surprised me that I wanted to just mention briefly in this video blog, expand a little bit on what we talked about on Sunday. The first one, and I don't know why, again, it's such a surprise to me, but was the degree of value that the Shulamite put on her virginity. You know, our culture, our entertainment, our movies, I mean, see movies all the time and TV shows where they're trying to get us to root for a couple that aren't married to go and be sexually intimate with them. Everything is pushing us towards looking at virginity not as something to be valued, but almost as something that is a curse. But I was struck by the fact that she put so much value on it that in her mind she was wrestling with, do I really want to marry Solomon? Because if I marry him, I'm going to lose this. And it meant that much to her that she would weigh carefully her marriage partner and her decision to get married, because virginity in her culture and at that time, and I don't know why it's not that way today, but it was so highly valued. She knew as she looked at her virginity that it was going to do two things. One, it was going to prevent her from making a mistake that she did not want to make. But then number two, it was going to secure for her, if you will, a husband. And I started thinking about those men who are at Emmanuel Faith who are not yet married. And I wonder, do you value in your own heart and in your own mind, in your own body, your virginity, if you still have it, as much as she did? Number one. And number two, do you value that in the woman that you would one day marry? Now, I'm not saying that mistakes aren't made and that grace doesn't cover that, and I would never say not to move forward in a relationship with somebody who's lost her virginity, but do you value it? And are you willing to help the women that you date continue to maintain theirs if they still have it? Because it's a very valuable thing. The most valuable thing that she can give to her husband on their wedding night, the most valuable thing that you can give to your wife on your wedding night. And there's a second thing too, though, that struck me. And it doesn't come out in the text, but when you do the reading and you look at the cultural things and what were going on, is the fact that not only did the Shulamite value her virginity very highly, and not only was she very intentional to guard it, but also her father was supposed to help her guard it. It was his responsibility to provide for her and to protect her physically, including her virginity, to help her come to the point on her wedding night where she was able to present herself to her husband for the first time. And so, dads, I want to encourage you to be involved in your daughters' lives. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge myself with my two daughters, that you would do the life lessons that we found in the text, that you would teach your daughters convictions, biblical convictions about sexuality, that you would model your commitment to virginity by what entertainment you pay for to bring into your home. Listen to the songs that your daughters listen to on the radio. I was driving down the road the other day with my daughter and one of her friends, and a song came on that was very inappropriate with the lyrics. And I said, do you girls know what this song is talking about? So no, we like the tune. I said, well, let me bring it up. I took out my phone, I Shazammed it, and I started reading to them the lyrics. Well, it took about 3 lines before their faces started to turn very red and we changed the channel. So teach them, model it, encourage them to have friendships with other girls who have the same commitment to maintaining their sexual purity until they're married. Put up hedges for your daughter. She may not understand why. Put them up for her and explain to her as best as you can why you're doing it, so that it's not some legalistic thing. And then work with her as she gets older to put up her own hedges. And then lastly, teach her to value her virginity. This isn't a curse. This is a blessing. This is a great, great gift. And always, always remind her that good things come to those that wait. Now, next weekend, Pastor Dennis is going to be back. And I got to tell you, if you thought this passage was kind of saucy, wait till next weekend. So God bless you, Dennis, as you study. We'll see you next week.